Hi, this is Manjula Narayan, books editor, Hindustan Times, and this is Bookstack, the show where I pick the most interesting books that I've got in the last couple of weeks or so. So let's go right into it. Everybody loves a thriller, and creepy psychopaths featuring in books is like up there on my list of favorite reads. And here we have this one, Good Son by Yu Jong Jong. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly. It's an international Korean bestseller. So I'll read the back. Yoo-jin is a model student, a successful athlete and a good son. But one day he wakes up covered in blood. There is no sign of a break-in and there is a body downstairs. It is the body of someone he knows all too well. Yoo-jin struggles to piece together fragments of what he can remember from the night before. He suffers from seizures and blackouts. He knows he will be accused if he reports the body. But what to do instead? Faced with an unthinkable choice, Yoo-jin makes an unthinkable decision. So, it sounds really very, very gripping, The Good Son. And the reason why I'm sure I'm going to read it in one sitting is because the first line, the smell of blood woke me. Once you have a first line like that, what can you do but read the whole damn book to find out? So there you have it, Yu Jong Jong's The Good Son. Korean. Anyway, then we have Cities and Canopies, Trees in Indian Cities by Harini Nagendra and Seema Mundoli. And it's really stuffed with a lot of, factoids, very interesting about all the trees. If you're interested in nature and the way, our cities are so bereft of nature largely, but then we still have trees, thankfully. And so the two of them, the two authors, list all the common trees, and they talk about them, bits from folklore, bits from all sorts of things, like neem. I didn't know this about the neem. The neem has been around for a long time. Harappan pottery from Mohenjo-daro depicts the neem tree with a stick-like figure sitting on its branches. And then some historians think the tree may have been a part of Harappan shamanic rituals. Neem also has more prosaic uses. One knows that neem is used, during chicken pox. You kind of use it to scratch. Before chickenpox vaccines were available and everybody got them when you were a child. So that was what was used to treat you, and it's still popular for that. But these authors kind of bring in a lot of other. Now this is about the amalthus, another favorite, summer tree, summer flowering tree, and it's all over Delhi. And apparently the amalthus was a favorite of the Mughal rulers who planted it in many of their famous gardens. As a nod to this, the iconic movie Mughal-e-Azam shows Prince Salim romancing Anarkali in a bower decorated with drooping amalthus chandeliers. So stuff like that. So very nice. Also, drawing information and factoids from all sorts of areas about trees, to present them in this book on trees. Cities and Canopies, Trees in Indian Cities. Really a very nice book. Then finally, my great favorite this week, The Mughal Feast, Recipes from the Kitchen of Emperor Shah Jahan. And this is, it's really fantastic. It's got all sorts of recipes in the introduction, and it's been a transcreation of Nuskha-e-Shahjahani by Salma Yusuf Hussain. And she's listed all the recipes, and the one thing that I noticed immediately when I was looking through it, was that none of the recipes uses naturally, because it is Shah Jahan's era, and before tomatoes, chilies and all those vegetables which were actually originally South American, American from the Americas, the New World. They just don't feature here at all, and all the spices either pepper, and then there's a lot of saffron and stuff that we still use, like cloves and cinnamon and all, but in very different proportions. So very nice. There are lots of very nice mutanjan pulao lubadar. I don't know, I'm very poor at Urdu, so I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right. And there's a nice omelette recipe omelette is using cardamoms and not a tomato or a chili inside. Very nice. So it got, more than anything, I mean, it'll be nice to try these recipes, but it's also an educational experience in how much our cuisine has changed in the last 400 years. There you have it. The Mughal Feast, recipes from the kitchen of Emperor Shah Jahan, transcreation by Salma Yusuf Hussain. Very nice. So that's what we have this week. 3 great books. I'll just do a quick recap. Cities and Canopies, Trees in Indian Cities by Harini Nagendra and Seema Mundoli. Yu Jong's The Good Son. I'm sure, butchered the author's name. And recipes of the kitchen, from the kitchen of Emperor Shah Jahan, The Mughal Feast, translated by Salma Yusuf Hussain. And her introduction is actually really brilliant, and it's full of information that one didn't know about, but then, hey, she's the expert. So there you have it. That's Bookstack. Come back again next week for more. See you.